Riz.
Greetings.
Gendered language.
Onomatopoeias.
The ick.
What makes some words sound funny?
Why just listen to music when you can overanalyze the words in the songs?
Music, language, and Eurovision all crammed into one podcast.
Getting down and wordy with Russell and Hannah. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Cannot be saved. Follow me in our rock is a weapon.
Welcome to The Ugly Radio on the Podmoth Network, a lo-fi sci-fi audio theater anthology series made for late nights and strong drinks. Join us monthly as we broadcast a pirate signal across time and space, featuring stories, songs, and frequencies from a rotating list of voice actors, writers, storytellers, and musicians. If you're looking for high-quality science fiction, skin-crawling horror, and other genre fiction, listen to The Ugly Radio on the Podmoth Network, now available wherever you get your podcasts. The Ugly Radio. See you in the void.
Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
Testing. Do not be alarmed. We are broadcasting from a lost signal. Please, do not attempt to adjust your dial until after the broadcast's completion. Hello, dear listeners. This is your showrunner, author, general voice actor, and chief audio engineer, Tilsen Mulalley. Tonight, I bring you a production of my story, The Organ Tapes. This is the second time The Lost Signal has done this story. It was originally episode 28, and I invite you to go and listen to that version first if you have not heard it. The version you will hear tonight, however, benefits from both a rewrite and my improved, if imperfect, audio engineering skills. Please, let me know which version you preferred in your review. On to the show. Excerpt taken from the case report of Agent William Phelps. Local police have turned over the audio cassette tapes found in Vesper National Park. Henry Pepperman appears to have been some kind of podcaster, focusing on urban legends and horror stories. Not immediately clear as to why Pepperman was using analog tech. The following addendum to case file number 5890 is a transcript of the tapes and their contents. The tapes themselves will be available by formal request only. Any agent besides those handling the investigation will be denied access without level 2 security clearance. Testing? Testing? Is this fucking thing even on? Christ, I knew I should have set this piece of shit up before. Oh, fuck! Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. There it goes. I should have just pulled over to begin with. Do the intro while you're driving. It'll be more personable. Stupid. Alright. Take 1. My name is Henry Pepperman. and you're listening to the Ghoulish Goon Podcast, where we attempt to shine a light on what goes bump in the night. Last week, we brought you our first episode on the horrifying legend of the Wendigo. I'd like to thank all of the goonheads out there for leaving us our first review. Thank you, goonheads. Secondly, I'd like to address the gooning jokes cropping up in our reviews. It is now a ban-on-site offense. Tonight, my friends, we talk about the Vesper Mountain Whispers. This is more than just a ghost story, dear listeners. You see, the Whispers have a body count, verified and logged. Well, at least as close to it as a ghost story can get. It all starts with a family and their annual camping trip back in 1975. Alright, that was good. Give myself goosebumps. Alright, now if I clip the mic to my shirt, I should be able to drive and document at the same time. A mountain like Vesper demands to be haunted. There is no cell service within a 5-mile radius of its base. The jagged peak wants desperately to pierce the sky above, jabbing ruthlessly into the murky fog that shrouds the mountain's tip for most of the year, regardless of season. The northern Paiute call it Pehe, a place of rot. Journals of settlers from the area are littered with campfire stories concerning the mountain. Voices in the night, whispering and beckoning, begging for help, demanding you follow them. Those that do, they say, never come back from the tree line. Yet folks flock to Vesper for camping every year, rain or shine. A full ranger staff keeps the park running, and if you believe the rumors, hushes up the missing persons cases. They seem to do a pretty good job, if that's the case. Nobody has disappeared from the area in a very long time. The last one, though, was a doozy. August 25th, 1975. 38-year-old Frederick Gaines, a hat salesman living in the suburbs of Redding, California, bundles his wife Bonnie and twins Rick and Ashley into their station wagon at dawn. The family unit is gearing up for a 6-hour, 364-mile jaunt out to Frederick's hometown of Green Creek, Oregon. Fred has planned a week's stay in one of Vesper Park's mountain cottages. That week came and went. When the Rangers ventured up to the cabin to check on the family, they found the cabin deserted. A window had been blown out by Frederick's shotgun, and the interior looked like the aftermath of a tornado. The Gaines's car was parked out front, their luggage packed in the trunk. The keys were in the ignition, but the battery was missing. Another week passed. Search parties were called. Fred, Bonnie, and the preteen twins were nowhere to be found. Some of the family's belongings and food provisions were found in a cave near their cabin a month after they went missing. Other than that, not a shred of the Gaines family has ever been produced. Some contend that Fred Gaines killed his family and went on the lam, desperate for a new start. If so, where are the bodies? Where's the blood? There was none in the cabin. More than that, by all accounts, Fred Gaines loved his family. He was successful in his line of work and known as a jovial family man. Others insist the Vesper Whispers lured them into the woods. Little transition music right there, and post. That'll hook 'em. I'm now pulling into Green Creek, Oregon. Spelled creek, pronounced crick. The town is small, one main street that's mostly deserted, and a few houses along the roadside. There looks to be a few more back in the trees. Getting a lot of looks from the few people on the street. They know I'm not from here. I've just pulled into the parking lot of Bill's One Stop. Hello? Anybody home? Howdy. You that podcast feller? Hogan or Harlow or... It's Henry actually, and yes I am. Are you Bill Marsden? Guilty. Oh, let me sit down a minute. Butter there. Nice to meet you. Likewise. Glad I was able to get a hold of you. Is there a quiet spot I can set up for the interview, or... Oh, the front counter here is as good a place as any. Not a lot of customers on Tuesdays. It's, Thursday, Bill. Well, looky there. Almost the weekend. Oh, well, just the same. I'll just lock up for a few, and that way no one will bother with us. Bill's One-Stop Shop is a shop out of time. A small timber box on the corner of a main street that sits on the edge of a wild frontier. His shelves are festooned with snacks, fishing gear, and motor oil. His hot rack carries such goodies as fried chicken gizzards and steak fingers. Anything that an intrepid adventurer may need on their way into the wilderness, Bill Marsden has made sure to have on hand. Bill himself is a bit out of time, with his cowboy shirts and towering rancher's hats. He's been running this little store for over 50 years now, surrounded by fishing tackle and dusty taxidermy. Why are you talking like Rod Serling? Oh yeah, I sold him the supplies. Beautiful little family, all smiles whenever they came to town. I'd known Freddie since he was a young lad. Did anything seem off about the Gaines family that day? Oh no, happy as could be, that bunch. They did a trip like this every year or so. Same spot out in Vesper. Vesper National Park? Oh yeah. Beautiful area if you get the chance. I'll be staying up there, actually, in the spot that the Gaines used. Oh, yeah? Well, good for you, kid. Really following the trail. Didn't know they let anyone have that cabin anymore. They don't. I had to do some deal making. Well, enough cash will make anyone tango, I suppose. Best be careful up there. There's cougars and black bears on that mountain. I've heard there's allegedly other things in those woods, too. I'm sure you have. Would you be able to tell me anything about the Vesper Whispers, Mr. Marsden? Oh, I can't imagine I could tell you anything you don't already know, kid. I'm 32. So's my youngest son. You're a kid to me, kid. Well, people been telling stories about that mountain for just about ever. Even before the white man came to stomp on everyone's good time, the native folk wouldn't go near that peak. Of course, the settlers just laughed, thought it was nonsense, built their homesteads and cabins on the ridges and in the meadows. Eventually, enough of them disappeared that they stopped laughing at the natives. Almost every story concerns the voices. Whispers in the night. Sometimes it's gibberish, sometimes it's your mother begging for help. It all depends on who's telling it. Depends on the night, too, I guess. Regardless, folks say if you try to heed their call, you don't come back. Ever heard 'em yourself, Bill? I've spent a lot of time up on that mountain, son. I've seen and heard my share of things. What do you mean by that? I mean that I don't go up there much these days, not since Mrs. Marsden died. Why, if she asked me into that tree line, I'd have a tough time not going after her. That's really interesting, actually. Shit. I'm late for my check-in at the campground. They're doing check-in times now, huh? Modernity never ceases to amaze me. Well, no worries. I got your supplies packed up and ready to go. Come on, I'll get you loaded up. All right, there you are. Should be enough to last you a week up there. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it. Listen, would you mind if I came back through town to chat with you some more? I just can't miss that check-in or they charge me an extra $75. Podcasts don't pay too well, huh? Ah, well, I'd be happy to chatter with you more. You be careful up there, you hear? Any kind of whispering, you pay it no mind. Sure thing, Bill. I'm serious, Harlow. Don't go out there. It's Henry. All right, Henry. Hello, and welcome to Vesper National Park. I'm Assistant Ranger Allen. Do you have a reservation? Yeah, Peppermint. Cabin 12. Yeah. We aren't supposed to rent that one. I know. I made an arrangement with your boss. I wanted the game spot. Who? The family that disappeared there. Who? Don't worry about it. No worries. Here, sir. Here's your ticket since you prepaid. Put it in the window of your car. Thanks. Hey, listen, can I ask you a question about the park? I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about Vesper, sir. Great. Listen, I'm doing a podcast on the Vesper Whispers. Whispers, sir? People talking quietly? I suppose people out camping whisper to each other all the time, sir. Don't want to scare the wildlife after all. Cabin 12 is a crooked, single-room little cottage nestled up against the service road winding up to the mountain's peak. Behind it, the trees and plant life have pushed up against the building, caressing the old wood as though wishing to reclaim it. Something like that. Mention the window, too. It's still shattered. That's fun. I'll workshop it. Let's see what the cabin looks like. Besides a little musk in the air, the interior of this old place is pretty clean. No electrical, though. Maybe there's a generator. I found the generator and a tank of gas in a little alcove on the side of the cottage near the tree line. The lights are on inside now. As the night comes on over Vesper Mountain, I cannot help but find this little cabin to be cozy. I've got a roaring fire and electric light so long as the generator stays topped off. Perhaps the Gaines, too, felt safe in here. One forgets the vast, dark wilderness beyond my little door. That's what I get for even mentioning it. Alright, let's see what the problem is here. Oh, it's out of gas. Well, let's just get it refilled. At least the can they left up here for me is full. Hello? Forest is quiet all of a sudden. Hello? Anybody out there? Huh. I've gotten the generator restarted. I think I might be tired. When I was out there, I could have sworn the whole forest got quiet for a moment. A breeze kicked up in the silence, and it sounded like it whispered my name. Yesterday, I arrived with very little daylight left in the sky. Today, business starts. After breakfast, we will be hiking to the cave to which the Gaines' supplies were found. On the way, we will be setting up recording devices to hear what we can hear concerning the whispers. I reviewed last night's tape. It sounded like the wind. We'll need more examples to come up with any definitive answers. First sight. Attaching recording device to a tree at the midpoint between the cave and the cabin. And there. And number 2 is installed. Well, it took all morning, but I did make it to the cave. 3 miles is a lot more than you think it is, dear listeners. I'll tell you that. On my way up here, I set up 2 different recorders. I have a third for the interior of the cave. It's a narrow opening in the side of the cliff, overgrown with moss and grass. I'm getting ready to enter, but looks like I'm going to have to really suck it in to get in here. I'm having to shuffle sideways, and the entrance is pretty narrow. Just a tumble, dear listeners. Got the handy-dandy flashlight here. Floor is craggy and uneven and appears to be littered with stones and what appear to be bones. Perhaps this is an animal's den these days. I'm not sure really where the Gaines' provisions were found, but man, this thing really goes far back. Can't see the end of the tunnel. Hello? Is anyone there? Could have sworn. Hello? Okay, well, I'll set up a recorder here. Alright. I'll leave them here for the night and come back in the morning. Let's get out of here. I was heading for the entrance. How did I end up deeper in the cave? I'm past where I put the recorder, I'm sure of it. I don't remember why, though. Christ, it's 5 already? All I did was go in and set up the recorder and come out. It couldn't have been past 1. Somebody robbed me. I'm back at the cabin now, and somebody robbed me. They turned the whole place over. Food's all gone. Boards over the window have been ripped out. At least they left the recording equipment. Somebody's up here messing with me. Shit. Here we go. What the hell? Somebody's just ripped out the wiring. Hello? Where am I? The cave? I was trying to start my car. How did I get in the cave? I don't know which way's out. I can't see. Shut up! Shut up! Stay away from me! Oh my god. My leg is fucking broken. Hello? Is anybody fucking there? This isn't funny. My leg is fucking broken. Help me. End of tape transcription. Henry Peppermin's remains have yet to be discovered despite numerous searches of the cave system in Vesper National Forest. Public authorities maintain the high probability of a rogue bear attack. This despite the fact that no blood was found in the cabin. The majority of Peppermin's belongings, as well as the majority of the wiring for his 2003 Toyota Camry, were found in a cave 3 miles from Cabin 12. Thank you for joining us tonight, dear listeners. The Lost Signal podcast was written and created by Tilsen Mulalley, yours truly. If you liked what you heard tonight, please consider donating to our Patreon. Regardless of if you donate or not, a review wherever you're listening always helps. Thank you, and good night. This concludes our broadcast day.